Personal property is coming right up, we need to send out letters. And I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of stuff, but there's a whole list in the PT 105 manual that lists out everything that the assessors are responsible for during the year. What I would do is just go through that list, tick things off that we're capable of doing that make sense, and develop procedures to make sure that it happens.
So if we made a motion to have you come up with a process and procedures, and in the meantime, process any work that doesn't affect the value, would that be helpful?
That would be really helpful. And like you said, if anything comes up later that I think is missing, then I'll let you know.
Okay, I'm gonna make that motion.
Yeah, I make a motion that we give Christine authority to come up with a process and procedures for what? I don't know, make sure it's worded right.
For any non-evaluation
Assessment practices.
for assessment
Perfect.
practices.
And to process any work that doesn't affect the value.
Second.
So that means we're still not going into TRIO, correct? Because I did receive a couple of very pointed emails one from a person who received an abatement and one who was asking for a correction that said, we want our property cards changed now.
But they can't.
And I told
We
them,
cannot do that yet.
okay, I just wanted to clarify because one of the emails was pretty intimidating. So I just wanted to make sure that that's not where you want us to go.
No, I think we need to have further discussion on whether we're gonna hire an
Somewhat.
assessing agent. Is it an assessing agent that we would hire to enter that stuff into TRIO?
Well, no, the assessing agent never does that. Or
Ron
not
Usually
does
the
that.
town
Yes.
staff, or maybe.
Town staff does it either under the consultant's
So it would be
direction.
under Parker.
Yeah, it would be under Parker.
They still took a commitment.
Yeah,
That's what the contract says. But Ron was doing that, was he not, making edits?
no, he was not.
So right now, Parker could
He did
process,
some, he didn't do them all.
Parker could process those cards for those individuals.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't think of that, but if you want them to, yes, they
I
can do
think
that.
in the meantime, until we get things resolved, Parker should go ahead and fix those.
I agree with that.
TRIO.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's that.
We got,
Wait, Carly, could you read the motion? Let me just finish reading it. Yeah.
So Kathy moved to authorize the town administrator to develop process and procedures for assessment practices and to process any work that does not impact value in the meantime.
Second. Further discussion? Public comment?
For some time, the treasurer has been doing personal property. That's kind of skating around the prohibition of treasurers doing assessing. That's something you ought to be aware of and need to walk carefully at. A little warning, there has been so much turnover in legal staff that what you get for REITs is got the wrong mapping lot, it's got the wrong acreage, it doesn't specify what type of transfer it is.
Right.
It takes talent, it takes skill. It's worse than when you did it before.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Some of the deed references I still remember, like beginning in a hole in the ice.
That's like in the corner of the field when the mower pound used to be, right?
So do you have an expectation of when we think we're gonna get additional values like waterfront rates and whatnot, so people can?
I think that the way that Jess responded when Steve first asked her to put a manual together, she got right on it. It didn't include everything, but she got right on it. I don't think it's gonna take her very long.
'Cause I know people are asking that.
And I think it would make sense for her to meet with the board, so you could tell her directly what you think is missing, rather than it going through me.
I would appreciate that.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah. Because you all had some very specific ideas about what you would like to see.
Further comment, Mike, and then
He was hand up a phone off you.
The reference to what you do with the abatements that you've done, whether you can do it in the card or whether you can't. As a practical matter, it is more complicated than that, because you did not, you've adjusted value. They will not get to a number. You can't back in that way. That is the point of reference to, I want the card adjusted now, so that people who should not have had to gone through an abatement in the first place won't be looking at doing an abatement next year.
I would expect that process will be ironed out.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's
Yeah.
a bumpy road.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
you had a comment?
Yeah, I still don't understand who is going to be authorized to do any valuation adjustments. Who is authorized?
We're the ones that are authorized to make edits to the abatement process.
And you can put it in on the cards and stuff? or-
No, for now, Parker will put it in on the cards.
But we're still waiting on gathering components that we don't have yet for various valuations in certain neighborhoods and parcels.
Yes.
So Parker's making the decisions on these abatements, not you folks?
No.
No, we make the decision, they process the decision.
All right.
And they make recommendations to us, and we're the final arbiters. Is there other
We need
comment?
to,
Oh, sorry. We need to vote. No, never. Carly, again, could you read the,
Yeah, so there's a motion on the table to authorize the town administrator to develop process and procedures for assessment practices and to process any work that does not impact value in the meantime.
and that's been moved and seconded,
It has.
all in favor? All opposed?
thank you. This was hard work tonight, but I feel like we finally got somewhere.
Yes. Step one.
Step one. And I won't say it how many.
I think
Yeah, no,
this-
this is good, we needed to do this.
And,
You wait, hearing?
Not
We
a
haven't done
chance.
select board or public comment.
Not
Do you
a
wanna
chance.
go through the
okay,
rest of the agenda?
I've lost mine in my pile.
I couldn't write mine
Number
either.
7, select board comments and announcements.
Okay, I
And
have no
public.
announcements.
Did you have some comments from?
No. I
Public
said mine.
comment.
You call on, Steve?
We're thinking
Mr.
about it.
Winter,
Steve Winter, Foster's Plant, West Bath. Just as a comment before, what taxpayers want is someone to explain why their valuation is what it is. You want that, we want that, everyone wants that. That takes a lot of background, a lot of understanding of what goes in. None of the staff or the Board of Assessors has that information, I'm sure we all agree. Parker's performance thus far, I am very concerned about in their lack of answering questions, in their lack of provision of information as to what they have done, which is non-compliant with state requirements, in particular, whether or not Steve Sullivan of MRS is apolitical enough to make that direct comment. In particular, we were over 6 months waiting for answers to questions such as, how do you connect any sales in West Bath to the parameters you have entered into TRIO? Let me take one specific example. Base lot price, river, title, $500,000. Why is it not $700,000, $300,000, $426,323.17? We have asked for that since day one of justify what you have as a parameter. That is the hard job of an assessor. Parker has not done that. They've been asked repeatedly, why is this? Justify your parameters. Nothing has been forthcoming. In particular, ideally, you would like that correlated to sales in West Bath, since it is for West Bath. Nothing has been forthcoming in that regard. A $500,000 blanket round number seems rather suspicious. If they have any link to West Bath sales data, we all should be able to see it. If they pulled it from some river in Presque Isle, as opposed to the ocean in West Bath, which happens to be called a river, that would be nice to know. What we want to find out is, how did they come up with this number? And my guess is they don't have any substantiated basis that relates to West Bath. Hence, all the taxpayers' angst as to what in the heck is going on. As a second example of the data we should have from them, and I'm appalled that it's taken 6 months to get a spreadsheet of sales data and adjusted data with no commentary, I might ask, when that should have been one of the deliverables at the beginning. What is important in an assessment especially is an evaluation of the accuracy of the assessment. There are a variety of measures. Occasionally we've thrown out the idea of the coefficient of dispersion. All that is sort of a measure of how does your assessment value stack up against what sales say. And they have not done that. They have not done a calculation of that coefficient of dispersion. I did what I could with the data they provided, which gave a very large dispersion. That is where you get taxpayers unhappy. The people that are overassessed, of course, will scream to the extent that they know it. The ones that are underassessed won't scream. Oh well, but the problem is the ones that are overassessed and scream, they get an abatement, but the ones that are underassessed, no one goes after them to pay the money that now gets refunded to the others. So the second question is, Parker calculate the coefficient of dispersion and tells us what that means. This is an example of what the liability is. The total West Bath real estate tax intake, ballpark, $5 million. Looking at the statistics that we have with the little data we have in the sales, you can be looking at $1 million in tax intake that is overassessed, which if everyone could get the assessment that they might deserve, there's $1 million that goes out into this town's pocket. It's very serious, this uncertainty, this measure of accuracy. So for two specific questions for Parker, hey, why is a tidal river base lot $500,000? Second one, calculate the coefficient of dispersion. It's been over 6 months, should have had it at the beginning.
Is there other comment? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Amen.